Is the Vortex Brake Pads 200 from Mosport Speedway, the 8th race of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. The Castrol kid DJ Kennington has his number 17 Mopar powered Avenger on the point as he leads Don Thompson Jr. here on lap 78 for the first restart of the night.
Side by side down into turn one. DJ clips the grass going in a real low line into turn one.
DJ's been doing that all night long. I've been watching him, little puffs of dust as he clips the inside. Does that help that car turn, or is he just kind of misjudging a little bit?
Well, you know, he just wants to keep the car as low as possible. They joke about it. Down into turn one, they call it the jump. Watch this as the car goes into the corner. Right there. It's a little hump in the racetrack, and you either go through it or you go around it. DJ goes through it, clips the grass on the left side.
Battle for second spot, heating up the 22 of Scott Steckley. Takes a look on Don Thompson Jr. the Home Hardware Chevy. Thompson will fight off that challenge. Stephen Matthews lurking there as well as we ride on board with Beauchamp.
Oh, Andrew Ranger squeaks by on the inside to take that spot away from the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr.
Now, it should be noted that we have had some weather in the area pretty much all day as Cale Gale goes around in the 13 car. Not weather related here. The sky's just getting gray, but caution flag flies once again for the Ream Chevy, the 13 of Gale, as he spins for the first time in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. Put that in the record book.
Oh, you get a look on the replay down into the corner. Yeah, I can't really say, but it looks like he might have gone off the nose of the 0-2.
Fair to say that Cale Gale was spun out by Kerry Mix for the first time in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series.
Well, welcome to NASCAR Canadian Tire short track racing.
Second place car, Don Thompson Jr. making a pit stop during this caution period. It's fuel and a handling adjustment. The 39 Dickies Dodge of Dave Whitlock also making a stop for fuel and a handling change.
Well, they're putting turns in the right rear, and there's big adjustments on the Panhard bar.
An awful lot of turns going into the Dickies Dodge, as Dave Whitlock must have been way off handling-wise. Hopefully it turns around for him. The Wheel and Engineering Safety Team out to clean up the debris here at Mosport. And don't forget to go online, NASCAR.ca, and click on NCaTS, the series page for the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, and vote for your favorite driver.
Now we get set to go green. The boys have cleaned the tires off. Pace car is going to drop in, and we're going to get right down the straightaway here and get right back to racing. Pair of Dodges side by side up front.
Working lap number 88, and the green flag waves once again. We're back underway here. The Vortex Brake Pads 200.
DJ Kennington again right down to the bottom. He's able to pick up 3 quarters of car length, and he clears the 22 off of the second corner.
Looking at the score sheet, Don Thompson Jr. in the 4 car is around the 8th position as some of the cars in front of him are laps down. So Don Thompson Jr., after making that pit stop, wired down just inside the top 10.
Oh, DJ Kennington got a great run that first lap. Look at right behind him. Andrew Ranger in that 27, right in his tire tracks. Dave, now that he's won an oval race, he's really on a mission to win some more. And
on a mission is Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the 60 Dodge Avenger as he takes a look underneath the 22 of Scott Steckley. That Mopar powered Dodge is working pretty good. Motor-wise, handling a little bit off as he gets crossways coming off the 4.
Oh, Beauchamp's cars always handle real good down the straightaway. Ron Sr. makes sure of that.
There is Thompson as we ride on board with the driver of the Home Hardware Chevy.
Real good sound inside. We were talking earlier about gear selection and everything. This racetrack is so slow in the middle of the corner that you can hear that motor right down at 3,500 to 4,000, and then it gets back up to 78 or so down the straightaway. A real tough place on motors.
Scott Steckley using that front bumper a little bit on the Walmart Time for fugitive Andrew Ranger, and Ranger really felt it that time.
Well, you only got to go back a few races, and Andrew's been having a real good run this year, but he's roughed the 22 up a couple times. Nothing real dangerous tonight, but you know, Steckley's not giving near as much as he used to.
The Logos Auto Parts number 19 of Brad Graham gets underneath the 3 car Jason Hathaway. That is for 10th position, and here comes Mark Dilley. This one not for position. Dilley a number of laps down, getting past the 13 of Cale Gale.
Well, we're just coming up to halfway now, and the left front fender missed on the 9 car. I must have missed when that happened.
The Home Hardware halfway update, just 2 cautions here today and 2 leaders as well for 1 lead change. So not a lot of action at front. All the action is deep through the field. The fastest lap so far has been put in by DJ Kennington back on lap number 3.
Oh, you got a good shot of Don Thompson Jr. working real good up off of turn 4 now. He's making his way back to the front.
Another driver we haven't spoken of much is the 12 car of John Gaunt as he follows the home hardware Chevy of Don Thompson Jr. The high-tech drilling number 12 of Gaunt has been very strong in the races that he's run so far this season. All ovals and just a part-time schedule. He did go out west. Had a good run in Vernon.
Yeah, he's been running really well since he come back part-time, but he's always really good on these tight little bull rings.
Well, he sits in 7th position as you take a look back to the 19 of Brad Graham. There's the 18 of Kent Noon as well. And back up at the front, it is DJ Kennington in the Castrol Mahindra Tractors number 17. The 27 of Andrew Ranger starting to look underneath the 17 of Kennington. And here comes Ranger.
Kennington able to use the lap car as a pick that time by he keeps the 27 at bay.
Man, Ranger just looks so confident now on the ovals. We've always known he's confident on the road courses, but he's looking better and better on these round-and-round courses. He sits in second, chasing Kennington. DJ Kennington took the lead of the Vortex 200 here on lap 18. He's since dominated the 8th race of the 2009 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series presented by Mobil 1. Now his dominance under attack from the number 27 Walmart Time Ford Fusion. Andrew Ranger goes to the lead.
DJ fights back on the high side, but it's not the preferred line around here, and he's going to get beat off of turn 2 by the 27.
DJ Kennington led for almost 100 tours of Mosport Speedway, and now it is your points leader, Andrew Ranger, who has taken over the top spot. And we spoke just before break how good Ranger is this year, how comfortable he is in that car. And now on the ovals, he's a force. This is going to have the rest of the field worried.
Well, he's getting so comfortable in these new setups. He's just driving the wheels off the thing. But you also got to think the crew's found something as well. Keep an eye on this 27 the last few races, and it's very consistent from start to finish. Not always the fastest in practice, not always the fastest in qualifying, but come midway of the race, everybody else is backsliding, and he's still marching forward at the same pace.
And interesting, too, the top 5 have yet to pit for tires or fuel. I think a lot of the crews are looking at the sky. Gray skies again overhead here in Mosport, as it kind of has been the case all day. So they're thinking rain is imminent, and it could hit any time. So you really want to be at the front when that rain hits.
Well, everybody wanted to race to the halfway because, at halfway plus 1 lap, the race is officially over if they can't get the track dried up. So the first thing to do is get track position, get to halfway, and then figure it out from there.
You saw the 15 of Stephen Matthews get underneath the 4 car.
Side, one right behind him, one right behind him. Come on, keep digging. Good at it. Side, 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 side. Okay, there's a hole. Get down, get down, get down.
That's Conan Long, a longtime spotter for Don Thompson Jr., helping out his driver get down behind the 12 car of John Gaunt. Matthews got by a number of laps ago. Now Gaunt gets through underneath the home hardware Chevy.
Well, I see Johnny Gaunt using that low line that DJ was talking about earlier, right across the grass, slide in through, and moved him on up. Don Thompson loose again off of turn 2.
Saw some specks of moisture on that camera lens. The cars went through 1 and 2, and we'll see if that plays a part. So far, the car's sticking pretty good. Tires up to temperature now. A few drops of moisture should make a difference.
There is so much heat coming out from underneath these race cars with the brakes, the tires, the exhaust, the transmissions. There's so much heat underneath the cars. A little sprinkle won't hurt anything as long as the cars are circulating and they keep pounding the track with the heat.
Don Thompson Jr. a little crossways coming off the corner as Dave Whitlock in the Dickies Dodge also takes advantage and goes around. You remember Whitlock is lap down.
Well, again, Thompson, you can hear those tires spin off the corner, and I can see the rain through his windshield. I'm just not quite sure how hard it's raining out there, but there are water drops on those windshields.
Yeah, definitely. The crews looking a little harder to the sky, starting to speak on radios to their spotters, find out how bad it is in the corners and down the straightaways. NASCAR seems to think it's okay, but this could play into the hand of some of the pit strategies that the leaders are trying to roll the dice on. So with more on the front runners' pit strategies, check in with Todd.
Guys, a lot of discussion now in the number 17 Castrol Mahindra pit for DJ Kennington. He's playing the weather game a little bit. We're past halfway. It's an official race. He hasn't made a stop for any fuel and tires yet. Will he be able to go until his scheduled stop? Who knows when that might be? When will we get another caution? Those are some of the discussions taking place right now. It could come back to haunt DJ Kennington.
Well, that's right, Todd, because now he's in a bad spot. He stayed out there hoping for rain just after the halfway. Now we're 3/4 of the way through. His car has gone away. It needs a drink of fuel, needs some new skins put on it. Now he needs it to go all the way to the finish.
Well, you saw a couple of rookies side by side right in front of the leaders. The Prime Champ Dodge of Joey Hansen in the 40 goes around the 55 of Dexter Stacy and tucks down in front of the leader, but Andrew Ranger didn't want to use that high side. He goes to the inside around Joey Hansen. DJ Kennington on his back bumper now.